What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. This time it's Star Wars Rey and BB8 from the movie The Force Awakens, and you can order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. It actually has a store credit right now that if you buy it you get $100 back, so more or less this figure would cost you around $180, which is a pretty good set if you ask me. So yeah, just click the link down below. I guess you were asking this. I mean, a bit behind. I'm like, what, 2-3 years behind on this figure. It's still a good set. You know, it's not going for much right now. Like, I believe the entire The Force Awakens line is not doing so good as far as sales or resale value is concerned. But if you're a fan of the movie, not a big fan of the movie as well, but I do recognize a good figure and a good set. You know, this is one of the better sets that I've seen in a while. So you can see here it has assortment of hands, and we got the gloved hands. It's just, once you open the box, as you saw earlier, it's packed with so much accessories that you feel like the money that you paid is worth it. As you can see, she got his staff, the lightsaber, the Luke Skywalker lightsaber. Now it doesn't light up. It doesn't have a light up arm, but it's okay. I can live with it. You know, I actually don't mind at all. But you can see here, there's some really good details on as far as her accessories, her stick right here, or staff. You know, there's a lot of details in it. She got her goggles. That is for the alternative look that you can put her in. The gun that Han Solo gave her. There's a lot of accessories here, and you haven't even seen. You know, she got. I actually made the accessories 3 parts because my slider can't go all the way at the other end of the table. But yes, so much stuff in here that even what, like 2-3 years from now, it'd still be a good set. You know, and you can see the details on this gun, nicely painted. It does look like a metallic, but we all know this is plastic. There's no movable parts or anything like that, but you know, it looks pretty neat. So you can see there some scratches on the gun as well, and are just it's so. And the gun, you can actually store it on her back, kind of like in the movies where she pulled it out. And this is the goggles for her scavenger look. There's like a flashlight in there, but it doesn't work. There's no batteries whatsoever. I wish it did, but it doesn't really bother me. I know some collectors, you know, bought a separate body to, you know, display her in the scavenger look, which is, I understand why. But now I would say this is not the most popular Rey. If anything, there's gonna be like a 3rd movie coming up soon with this trilogy, and you know, we got the Last Jedi Rey, which is, you know, if you're looking for that kind of look, which is more of a battle scene look, you know, you can have that. And you also have the scene where she handed over the lightsaber to Luke. That's another Jedi training, I guess, what you call that look, I forgot. But you know, there's variations of Rey now, and so you can see her backpack, nicely done. This leather, I didn't try to remove this accessories, this water bottles or whatever these things are. But you can see the texture is really nice. It does look really premium, and like I mentioned earlier, there's a ton of accessories in this figure that if you want to display her in this option, it's a pretty nice content that we all have this for a pretty reasonable price as well, because as you know now, they are selling BB8 separately, although not the same one, for almost $110. So in retrospect, this Rey is only $180 with all this stuff. And I know they were selling the deluxe and non-deluxe version before, but you always go with the one with BB8 on it. That's just my personal suggestion. And as you can see here, you got the sand base, and that I don't know if that base is magnetic or whatever the case may be, but it's whenever you put BB8 on it, it's nice because he doesn't tumble or anything like that. And this is BB8, and I know some collectors kind of edited BB8, kind of repainted him, but to me it looks nice. You know, it has some heft into it. It's a bit heavy. I know there's like something inside that, you know, like, I forgot the term. I don't know why, but it gyroscope or something that makes the head kind of magnetic. It goes up and down. I mean, it doesn't work like these the remote app BB8. I forgot the name again of the. I'm going blank today, of the manufacturer. But I got the R2D2 version of that. I didn't get the BB8 because it was sold out back then. But you know, I'm okay with it. This looks pretty good. There's as you know, there's a light switch underneath. There's not a whole lot of light features in there, just the blue one, and there's a red one inside that you probably can't see from this video. But yeah, the paint application is nice. The functionality of BB8, it's just a display option, so there's not a whole lot of movement or sound effects in there, and which I'm okay with. And also on that front panel, there's some movable compartments that you can kind of replace to replicate some scenes in the movie, specifically where he handed over the map to Rey, and that kind of like a shock. There you go. Whatever gun that is that he pops out of his chest, but pretty cool. I mean, option, I guess. I'm kind of scared to put it on. I most likely, it's gonna be rare that I would use this, but it's nice to know that it's there. You can actually put them at the same time if you don't, but kind of put the risk of, because if he tumbles over or whatever the case may be, you know, it will look awkward, because if you put him at the same time, you know, he's kind of facing the other way, so the map would technically fall off. But hey, if you want to use your accessories, feel free. You know, you can do whatever you want. This is your figure. But as far as BB8 itself, that's the stand that he comes with, the stand attachment kind of thingy for the base, which also I did buy. I'm making a killing out of this Force Awakens, by the way, in the Big Bad Toy Store sale. They gotta end that sale, because otherwise I bought like 4 figures now, no 5, from the Force Awakens. I don't even love that movie that much, but it's such a good deal, you know, for a Hot Toys product, you know, especially a figure this great as far as accessory wise. You really get your money's worth. And as far as the figure, there's a lot of concerns about the height, and I echoed those concerns as well. But I thought it was gonna bother me, but it didn't really bother me as much as I thought it would. Yes, there's a height disparity, but I can live with it. The outfit itself is nice. You can see here there's no visible joints whatsoever. That's just the nature of her costume, which works well with Hot Toys because they didn't use any Phison body, which they don't. I mean, every once in a while you see Thor with no visible joints whatsoever. But with her, it works well because you can hide those elbow joints. Even her shoulder joints are not visible because how... In this one too, even her knees. You can strategically place this a bit lower. This is more of a garter bottom for her shorts or pants or whatever the case may be. So you just strategically pull this down and you can kind of hide that joint from the back. But again, even if you don't, it's on the back of her knee anyway. So I mean, unless you display your figures with their back, facing the crowd, then it'll be fine. And as far as the boots, there's no ankle articulation because the boots is one solid piece, but she stands up quite easily for me and it doesn't really bother me. I mean, I'm not gonna put her in any dynamic poses or anything like that. That would require some, maneuvering of her ankle joints. But overall, I like this outfit more, honestly, than the Last Jedi. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of the episode 4 Luke, which I also do have. So I don't know, it just feels right, I guess, to have her. And even if you are, let's just say, which is there's really rare nowadays, even if you're a big fan of this new trilogy that they're putting on, it's nice to have the genesis of Rey, where she started. Plus, again, with all the amount of accessories and the second alternative look, the alternate look that you can give her, it's I think it's a no-brainer, especially now with the price that Big Bad Toy Store is offering this. This is practically $180, which you wouldn't see in a Hot Toys product, especially in this magnitude ever. And if you are in the market to buy BB8, which him by himself is already what, $110. So if you factor that in, if you are already going to buy a BB8 anyway, imagine you're pretty much getting Rey for $70. $70 for a full Hot Toys figure with all these accessories and outfit. I mean, it's a steal. It is quite a steal, to be quite honest with you. The head sculpt, I don't normally rate Hot Toys, from 1 to 10 or A to D. But if I have to, I would say it's a good 8.5. It's not quite there yet, but you know it's her. The expression is kind of a letdown, I guess. She has an open mouth, but I don't really know what she's trying to convey here. The hair is good. I mean, I really don't have any complaints with it. It's just, a bit, I would say, it's not gonna wow you, especially if you've been collecting Hot Toys for a while. It's also not gonna upset you. It's not like it's terrible. It's just not, like the quality that they're producing now. It's not. Let's just say in the same time frame, it doesn't look like Han Solo. Like the older Han Solo that they produced is amazing, quite amazing. So it's not up to that standards, but it's not, I would say, Chewbacca as well, because Chewbacca, a lot of people, Chewbacca's hit or miss. I got Chewbacca as well. Mine is decent. It doesn't look like the Grinch. Maybe it does, maybe. But, you'll see it on my review. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. At least mine wasn't. So I'm not saying yours wouldn't be, but, maybe I got the lottery and, just won the Chewbacca sweepstakes. I don't know. But as far as this figures, you can see here, I'm getting a little bit closer here, but it is nice, I don't have any complaints whatsoever. It's just not spot on, but again, it doesn't mean it's terrible by any stretch of imagination. It's not like Asmus, Frodo or anything like that. Frodo is still decent, but it's like it doesn't look quite like the actor. And you can see here some different lighting that I'm offering here. I wouldn't even call it a soft sculpt as well, so you can see there's some texture on the face of the figure. And here she is with the alternate look. I don't know if I got this right, but I was following the instructions, but I don't know if I got the headpiece quite right here. I might have screwed it up eternally, but whatever. Even on the instructions it says that do not put this on for a long time. Although I don't think it's gonna mark your figure since it's the fabric is white, and also even the mask. I don't know. I got my Catwoman. They have that warning as well. The older Catwoman from The Dark Knight, and I kept the goggles in for years, and I was a newbie. Took it out, but there was no staining whatsoever in her face. So I don't know. Maybe it depends on where you live. Of course, that's going to play a factor. Humidity, exposure to sunlight, things like that nature. Mine is always stored in a basement. I live in Chicago, so the temperatures, it varies, but the basement is always almost like 70 degrees, maybe 72 at most. But yeah, this is the alternate look, and it looks pretty awesome, to be quite honest with you. It looks more badass than the regular figure. So if you don't like that derpy, expression from Rey, then you can put on the mask. Just kind of, the shoulder pads are right there, and it's easy to assemble this look. You just put that extra, piece of cloth around his shoulder, and there's like a belt that you just loop in, and the shoulder piece is not too bad. I forgot to put on a backpack, and you can put on the backpack quite easily. So if you're just feeling a bit bored with this figure and you want to change things up, or just buy a second body altogether, and buy a Phison body and some clothing and whatnot, and you don't even need a second head sculpt, I'm assuming. You can use a generic head sculpt and no one would notice unless you turn the figure around. You don't see the hair is a bit different, but yeah, I mean, you could use a different head sculpt altogether. I'm pretty sure it's still gonna fit. I don't know about that, but or a bootleg head sculpt. But here she is, just kind of put it all together with the gloves and everything. See, she looks badass, man. She actually looks more badass in the Scavenger look than the actual Rey figure, the Jedi look Rey. I like this. I'm not gonna keep her in this look, but every once in a while, or you're feeling a bit bored, or experiment a little bit. Take pictures if you are on the beach. And every time I go to the beach, I always bring a Hot Toys figure with me. I don't. That would be weird. Don't do that, folks. But when I'm talking about the sand and everything, so you can have her, take a photo op, in a sandy area, maybe in a kids park or something, and I'll just throw in a few poses and we'll wrap this thing up. Like I said, it's an older figure. Probably only 5 people is gonna watch this, but it's all right. I like filming, or doing reviews, even though on the older figures, because there's always new guys coming around and trying to take a look at this reviews, because they are quite expensive, even at this price point now that Big Bad is offering. And I don't know how long this is gonna last. There's really no time frame. But I even at 180 to some people, even to me, even at Hot Toys, I bought the Flame Trooper for pretty much $80. It doesn't feel bad for us because I've been collecting for years now. But to somebody new, dropping 180 on a toy might be expensive. So to some degree, this sorts of review, even though it's been kind of late, helps some people out. And here she is holding her stick, standing, looking at nowhere because she is just tired. Trying just to create some poses here. Pretty good, And I like the entire aura, like I said, of this Rey. The outfit, just kind of blends well with the sand. Just. I don't know. Even when she was in the forest, it still looks great, And I know she changed her out. It's probably gonna change again in the next movie. I don't even know what the title is, but maybe we'll find out who her. I do hope they don't drag this on, but find out who her parents are. Here she is. And like I said, you probably could replace her peg. That's one of the biggest negative of this figure is the size, the height. I guess they just use a generic female body for Rey, which is unfortunate because I know Daisy Ridley, I believe that's her name, is not really that short. She's quite tall for a female. So she's not like 4'11" or 5 feet tall. I believe she's 5'6" or 5'7". So, quite tall for a female. But, they, to save money, I guess, they just used pretty much the same body for all their female figures, as you can see here. I'm going to give you the height comparison between her and 2 other female figures, which is Scarlet Witch and Black Widow. I was going to use my Catwoman, but she's wearing heels, so... No, but we'll first take a look at this disparity between her and Finn, which Finn is not a tall guy either. I believe he's like 5'9", maybe 5'8". If you look at the pictures, he's not that much taller than Daisy, but in the figure-wise, it looks like he's towering over her. Not only by width, I can understand the width. Maybe he's a bigger body. And Kylo Ren is a tall dude in real life, Adam Driver, but... this is the disparity here is just way too big, So I guess you can still remedy Rey. You put some extended pegs, but it's still not gonna catch up. But don't let that deter you. Honestly, once it's in the show, look at this. They all look the same. They all the same height, same everything. I mean, Black Widow, I suppose, is a bit taller because of her shoes. It has some heels on it, but overall, shortcut by Hot Toys, and it's not surprising or anything like that, but yeah, you know what I mean. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you out, especially if you don't know that Big Bad is running this promotion, which they are. It's pretty awesome. Hopefully you guys check it out. But as far as this set, it is so worth it. I would highly recommend it, even at this stage, regardless of what you feel about the movie. As a figure, as a set, I would say it is pretty good. Is it gonna be as iconic as the first three Star Wars? We don't know. Maybe this next movie, I know a lot of people didn't like The Last Jedi, and that's a different topic for a different discussion, but maybe they'd redeem themselves in the next movie and appease more fans. I don't know. But as far as I know, any Star Wars film, they were crucifying the prologue of Star Wars before, with Anakin, but now the figure turned out to be great. A lot of people are praising it. And I would say the same way with this set, that regardless of how you feel about the movie, this is a great figure, so worth it, especially for the price point that you're gonna get right now if you get it from Big Bad. So like I said, I highly recommend it, because the last thing you want is maybe the next movie would turn out to be great, and you want to start all over, you want to get all the Rey, and now this would shoot up in price. But what are the chances of that? I don't know. I would say 50-50. With the trend that's going on now. But again, thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I would see you guys in the next review. And until next time.